So one time on my honeymoon to Turks and Caicos with my husband, I was 3 months pregnant and I was so excited to go anywhere outside of the US, much less Turks and Caicos. And when we landed, it was such a beautiful place. We went to this amazing resort and it was literally a dream come true. And on about the second day on the beach of the resort, I saw this couple that was sitting near us. The man was exponentially older than the woman. I'm talking about like in his 60s, maybe early 70s. And the young woman, she was like more so early 20s, okay? She was gorgeous and dressed to the nines in an amazing like bikini bathing suit, looked so good. We all know that as being a sugar baby. Over the years, this concept has grown exponentially, especially across YouTube, TikTok, and more young people are becoming sugar babies. That they have relations, sometimes sexual, sometimes not. They will pay your bills, put you up in an apartment, get cars. The gifts are endless, and it seems like a great gig, but it can come with a downside, and today's story is going to talk about a situation just like that. Now, before we get started in the story, it is a very short story, but I have a lot to say. Let me introduce you to Lauren Smith Fields. I know it looks like I'm about to tell you guys that we're gonna collaborate on something together, and she was a YouTuber. I did, however, come across her YouTube channel a little too late. It has now been pulled. If you guys would like to see some snippets of her content, definitely check out the links down in my description. There is a wonderful creator here on YouTube named Leah Nicole, and she did a video on Lauren Smith Fields that was amazing. And she has actual clips of Lauren's YouTube channel. You guys should check it out. But she did all types of things, including wig installations, dyeing her wigs. She would do like vlog type style videos, and she also did story times from time to time. This young, beautiful black woman was so unbelievably creative. She was known to be very kind-hearted, to be very funny. She was born and raised in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Grew up there, lived there all of her life. She was known to be very friendly, very kind. She was ambitious. She was also really athletic. She attended Stanford High School and she was a track star there. And then after high school, she decided to attend Norwalk Community College and she went there to study to become a physical therapist. Meanwhile, in the interim, Miss Lauren was also working on her content on YouTube as well as Instagram. She had a pretty good following on Instagram, amazing content over there as well. I'll show you guys a snapshot of her Instagram as it is now. As you go through her content and her Instagram feed, you can see that she loved adventure, she loved traveling, she loved beautiful things. You can't tell me this woman isn't drop dead gorgeous. She's on top model status, just amazingly gorgeous, and you could definitely see that through her photos. You can see photos where she's on the beach, where she's in beautiful bathing suits, where she's shopping and just living a very beautiful life. Now, Lauren came from a really loving, close-knit family. They were very supportive of everything that she was pursuing, including her YouTube channel. Well, as time went on, Lauren decided to join an app that we all know as Bumble, and Bumble is a dating app, and some people use these apps for fun and some people use these apps to find their soulmate. Lauren gets on Bumble, and according to her family, she is connected with an older white man. Lauren Smith Fields was found unresponsive in her apartment on December 12th of 2021, a month ago, almost to the day. Now, the way that this case is worded in the media is that she was found unresponsive, implying that the person that was there with her found her unresponsive. However, that is not the case. This older white man had come to Lauren's apartment on Plymouth Street. While he was there, she became unresponsive. So he did not show up and then knock down the door and she was just unresponsive. No, they had been hanging out and she ended up unresponsive. This unknown white man ended up calling the police and getting help out to the apartments. In this very moment in time, you have this gorgeous, young, 23-year-old woman. She's unresponsive in her apartment, and she has this person that was with her that is very key to this investigation. No, it would probably behoove authorities to maybe ask a few questions, figure out the timeline, what happened leading up to this, what could have caused this. However, according to investigators with Lauren Smith Fields' case, they decided that it would be best to not question or interrogate this man that was on the scene. And their reasoning was because he seemed like a nice guy. He seemed like a nice guy, and it was very nice of him to get a hold of police. So because of that, they did not find it necessary to take him back to the station, to interview him, interrogate him, get a statement from him, anything. And to top it off, we don't even, as the public, we don't even know who this person is. We have no idea. They have not released any information on him, which I find very odd. Whether or not they find him a suspect, he was still a person that was there with Lauren during her final moment. We have no information on this man. Also, there hasn't been any releasing of text messages or messages from the Bumble app or anything to indicate any further details about this relationship between Lauren and this unknown man. Specifically, how long has this relationship been going on for? When did they first meet? Was this the first time? Had they already been meeting up? Was this his first time coming to her apartment? Had he been over a million times before? We don't know any of that information. None of it. All we know is that Lauren Smith Fields was at her apartment with this unknown white man that she met on Bumble, and that she ended up unresponsive. That's it. Of course, Lauren's family has so many questions. It has been a month since Lauren's passing, and we don't know anything else. Nothing, okay? She had an autopsy done. Now, the medical examiner has not released any information in regards to the cause of death. The family is already upset and heartbroken. This is right before Christmas, might I add, the passing of their beautiful daughter. And then on top of that, to add insult to injury, they did not get a good response from the police department in Bridgeport, Connecticut at all. There's a lot of question marks and a lot of details that are not being disclosed to the family at all. So they are calling and checking in and, trying to keep up with this case. And it got to the point where apparently investigators got really annoyed with the family and asked them to stop calling, which in turn made Lauren's father release a scathing statement talking about their personal experience with investigators and the police department as a whole, how they were being condescending, they were not taking them seriously, they were bothered by them checking on their own daughter's case. And that they were specifically asked to not call again. And then on the flip side, Lauren's mother, who is just absolutely devastated, she writes a very well-written, very direct, very to the point email asking for the police's help to find more out about her daughter's case and what happened to her. They never responded to her. They never got back to her. They didn't even give her the time of day. This woman that just mysteriously lost her child. Lauren's father, out of his own money, paid out of pocket for a second autopsy to be done on Lauren's body because they felt so uncomfortable with how the investigators and police were handling Lauren's case from jump. Now, there are rumors, however, that there was prescription medication that was present in the apartment that is used to knock someone out. Some people speculate that that could have been used by this unknown man to knock Lauren out and do terrible things to her, but we don't know because nobody questioned him. Lauren's parents are absolutely positive that their daughter never did drugs, like she was not into that kind of stuff. So they find that very suspicious, but again, they don't have any answers whatsoever. As of right now, the case is at a standstill. Lauren's parents just really want her story to get out there. They had to have their service for their daughter just a few days before Christmas. And also knowing that the last person to have seen their daughter alive is still walking around for some reason and they don't even know who he is. You know how I heard about Lauren's case was through TikTok, and I actually want to give a special shout out to my girl on TikTok. I love watching your videos. You can find her at Yolked Eggs. I'll leave her at right here. She talked about Lauren Smith Fields' case, and that is how I heard about her case for the first time. And I was just dumbfounded and I could not believe what she was saying. This is such a recent case. I know that there's not a whole lot of updates right now, but I definitely do feel like there should be a lot more updates by now than there are, especially in regards to that unknown white man that was at her apartment. And I just don't understand, and maybe you guys can help me understand possible reasons behind this. Now, there are some theories. Maybe he's a political figure, maybe he's married, maybe he has connections within the police force. So many people have a lot of theories about why the police chose to not interview him or question him or release his information or have him as a suspect. This is like basic police work. This is usually how procedure works when this kind of case comes up, regardless of whether or not they believe that there was foul play involved, but to get as much information out of this person as possible. And there's nothing out there. And I am just, this case has been on my mind for days, okay? And I have literally been scouring the internet for more information, like, have they released anything? And the answer is no. I've been on Reddit, I've been on different threads, and there are so many people that have different theories. If I just sit here and theorize, I just can't imagine Lauren deciding to have a first time meeting at her apartment. So I'm speculating that this wasn't like the first time that she was meeting him. I think that this seems like somebody that she knew well enough to have at her apartment. Y'all, I don't know. And then I came to YouTube and there's like a handful of videos of Lauren Smithfield's case. I will also link those down below as well. You guys can watch those. There are a few news outlets that have released her story, but there's not a whole lot of details in them either. But I haven't seen anybody else really talk about this case, so I wanted to bring it forward. I know that it's brand new. I know that it's still developing. I'm well aware of that, but my personal opinion is that, number one, this case should be way more widely known than it is, should be talked about way more until we get answers. From the beginning, the way that this case has been handled has been very sketchy. And I can't seem to logically find a reason as to why that would be. But I wanted to bring this case to you guys because, you know, a lot of my Glamazons live all over the US and all over the world. And if any of you guys live in Bridgeport, Connecticut, you know what may have happened or are able to help Lauren's family in any way, I would really, really appreciate it. I'm going to leave a lot of links down in my description box below, including ways that we can help Lauren's family spread Lauren's story and anything else that they may need, whether it's support to get an attorney for their family. I just really want to help get her story out there because, and I'm going to say this with all the love, but with my whole chest, this beautiful young woman and this beautiful young woman deserve the same media attention for their cases. So I am expecting the same energy when it comes to finding out what happened to Lauren Smith Fields and why and how she was taken from this world so early on in her life. She was headed towards stardom. You can't tell me that this isn't a star. You cannot tell me that you don't feel that special factor about her. And her case is important too. And Lauren Smith Fields matters. Before I end this video, you guys are beautiful and talented and amazing, and I know that we love to have companions and partners and life partners and husbands and wives and everything, and there are so many dating apps right now and there's so many ways to meet people, but please be careful. Always have a backup plan. Always have people in your circle that know where you're going to be and who you're going to be with. Always leave a trail of where you're going and what you're doing, and because you never know where that date could lead you or who you could actually be meeting that's on the other side of that screen. I just want you guys to be so safe. Any other updates that come out after the filming of this, please leave them in my comments down below. It involves a young black or brown woman and they decide to not respond urgently and to not get their story out in the media. It really does set a precedent to anybody out there that has the intention of harming a young black woman or a young brown woman, and they have this sense of comfort of knowing that if they choose to do that, that nobody will come looking for them, that nobody will talk about their case and their cases will just dwindle. Don't give them that type of confidence. Thank you guys so much for being here and listening to Lauren Smithfield's story and sharing it and talking about it and helping us get the word out. I really, really appreciate it. I personally will be keeping up with this case and any updates that come after this, but you guys let me know if you know anything. Y'all know what to do with the subscribe and like button, and I will see y'all very soon in my next video. Peace out.